Indonesian car producers have lowered their sales target for this year following the decline in retail sales during the first 10 months of this year. The decline in the people's buying power has contributed to the fall in sales during the January until October period.
The Association of Indonesian Automotive Industries or GAIKINDO has lowered its 2024 car sales target to 850,000 units from 1.1 million units set earlier this year, following a sharp decline in sales during the first 10 months of this year. GAIKINDO chairman Yongki Sugiarto said a number of factors such as the weakening of the people's buying power and the decline in economic growth has caused the drop in car sales, but he was optimistic the monthly sales would rebound in the remaining 2 months. New car sales from January to October 2024 suffered a significant decline. Gaikindo data shows that the country's total car sales dropped by 15% to 710,406 units during the January to October period this year, from 836,128 units in the same period last year. Gaikindo has arranged a number of sales campaigns to boost sales in the remaining 2 months of this year, such as by holding a series of automotive exhibitions, which including among other Gaikindo Jakarta Auto Week or Gejau 2024. Minister of Industry Agus Gumiwang Kartasasmita officially opened the Gaikindo exhibition on Friday, November 22nd, displaying 27 passenger car brands and 12 motorcycle brands. In this address at the opening of the event, which will take place until December 1st, the minister hoped the exhibition would help boost domestic car sales. Economic analyst from the Institute for Development of Economics and Finance or INDEF, Tauhid Ahmad said that the decline in car sales was due to the fall in people's purchasing power throughout the year. With reduced income, people tended to prioritize their spending to spend primary needs and consider purchasing a car that is not a priority, he added. In the January to September period, Toyota continued to dominate the car sales in the domestic market with total sales of 25,454 units, down 2.1% compared to August. Toyota's decline was smaller than other brands such as Daihatsu 8.3%, Mitsubishi 6.9%, Suzuki -1.6%, Isuzu 16.6%, Hyundai 2.5%, and BYD 29.4%. Looking at the ASEAN car market, Indonesia still leads sales above Thailand, Malaysia, the Philippines, and several other Southeast Asian countries based on data from the ASEAN Automotive Federation, with total sales of 633,218 units during January to September period, which Indonesia was the biggest car market in the Southeast Asia during the period, while Malaysia was in second place with sales of 594,037 units. Thailand was in the third place with sales of 438,303 units, and Philippines in fourth place with sales of 344,307 units. In total, car sales in ASEAN throughout this year were 2.2 million 76,702 units, or down 7.8% compared to the same period last year of 2,468,880 units.
We'll be talking about car sales now and how the market fell sharply during the first 10 months of this year amid the weakening of the people's purchasing power. And today our guest, Bapak Kukuh Kumara, is from the Gaikindo. He is the Executive Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturer, and we will talk about the reason behind the sharp drop in car sales in the domestic market lately. Pak Kukuh, welcome again to
Thank you for
Economic
inviting
Outlook.
me.
Happy to have you here. Pak Kukuh, as we mentioned just now, that the annual sales target for this year have been slowing down recently, especially the last few months. Can you tell us the reasons behind the fall in the car market sales?
Yes, actually it was started September last year when the Fed increasing the interest rate and the dollar is coming back to US and it's going to be quite difficult to get the loan for purchasing vehicles. With that one, then slowly the market are very tough. And then coming to 2024, it start with also during the Ramadan and also the Puasa. Focus of the people is different. And fortunately, after those event, we are coming back in April, May, June, July is increasing, in August. And then all of a sudden, September is coming down again. But we do a study with LPMUI, what is rational behind that one? Actually, we have been stuck for 1 million production and sales for the last 10 years. We are unable to get out from that trap. And recently, because of other things like the exchange rate as well as the buying power of the middle class. And from the study also, we found that the income level of the middle class, which is basically the majority of the potential customer, is increased only by 3%, while the production cost or the car price increased by 7%. So they have difficulty to catch up the price increase.
Well, certainly the global economic condition is really not supporting people's buying power to increase for this year as well as the outlook for the coming years. Now, Pak Kukuh, according to the 2024 sales target, it has been decreased from 1.1 million units down to 850,000 unit, and this is quite a big gap right here of the sales target. Can you tell us why are the car sales this year very far below the expectations then?
Yes, it's quite surprising for us because we expect that this year we are expecting to be able to increase the sale 1.1. But unfortunately, starting from, as I mentioned earlier, the condition is not improving so fast. That's why we have to be rationalized, that we have to reduce the volume.
And perhaps there needs to be... Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Are you okay?
Yeah,
okay.
fine.
Perhaps there need to be more strategies to make sure that this will boost the sales for the next few years. Speaking of which, do you think the market is actually too saturated now, Pak Kukuh?
Interesting question. I think it's far from that one in terms of Indonesia. Indonesia is the largest market for four-wheeler and above. As a matter of fact, we are number one in terms of domestic sales. And then follow this time by Malaysia, usually Thailand. But Thailand also having some issue similar like with us. So instead of increasing their forecast, they are lowering their forecast usually around 850. Now they are lowering to 550, far lower than us. So we are not alone, but we have to make sure that we are coming as a winner because we are the largest. It's far away from the saturated. When you talk about the saturation, ratio of ownership in Indonesia is still around 99 vehicles per 1,000 population.
I see.
While Malaysia is already 490 per 1,000 vehicles, per 1,000 population. And then Thailand is 270. So look, we still have an opportunity on
The
that one.
potential is still there.
Potential is there.
Do you also think, Pak Kuku, that at the moment we have a high sales tax that has also contributed to the fall in car sales? Is that one of the reasons why that the sales is going down?
The tax?
Yes, the
The
sales
tax has not been implemented yet.
All right,
It's
yeah.
going to be next year. So with the current tax scheme, it's already decreasing. So if we impose a new tax, which is 1% increase, we are afraid that it will be an impact on the number of sales.
How much do you think this will impact the car sales then?
Because on the vehicles, it's not only the PPN, the value added tax. This next year, there will be also a tax, regional tax, which is increased by 7%, depending on the different region. And we think that if they impose this new tax scheme, it could be, the volume may be down and approaching similar like when we have pandemic, around 600.
Okay, so
That's-
this is
that's
really a
reality.
concerning issue then.
It's really concern. And as you know that manufacturing and automotive manufacturing is one of the employers of a lot of people, 1.5 million. So the trickle-down effect of that
Exactly.
impose of the new tax will be, it's not as simple as the people think. So once again, it's not only value-added tax, but there is a regional tax that we have discussed for quite some time, and we haven't seen the light in the end of the tunnel yet.
I see. All right. And another factor is also the bank loans. You know, the condition here in Indonesia is that most people will buy cars using their bank loans. Now, do you think the difficulties in raising the bank loans also contributed to the sluggish car market?
It might have a contribution on that one, because 80% of the people who buy car are using bank loans.
Yes.
So if the requirement is getting tougher, of course we have to understand also the concern of the bank or the financing company, that if we ease the requirement, they have potential of in proper loan, then they have the difficulty. So they try to save their own, but also affect the number of sales.
Certainly with the gloomy outlook next year, I think it's just going to be more and more difficult to increase the sales of cars. What do you think, on behalf of Gaikindo, Pak Kuku,
Yes.
what do you think the government can do then to make sure that the sales keep reaching the target and instead of going down for next year?
We have been discussing a number of options, such as like providing stimulus. We have been experiencing similar condition when during the pandemic, when the volume is dropped drastically to only 550, and the government is providing a stimulus or incentive by freeing the tax for certain kind of the vehicle.
And it worked really well last time, right?
It worked really well. It jumped from 550 to about 800, almost 900.
Wow.
And I think the government also do the study on that one, that within 3 months of the implementation of that scheme, the potential loss, it seems the potential loss during that period is about 3 trillion, but they got the potential gain about 5. So at the end, still good for the government.
Okay, all right. Last question, Pak. I would also like to know the growth trend of the electric cars lately,
Electric
and
vehicles, yeah.
how does that affect the sales of the fuel-based cars then?
Yeah, the electric vehicles, BEV, or we can call also new electric vehicles, because it's not only battery electric vehicles, because also hybrid is there. So there is a positive trend on that one. There is an increasing number of vehicles being sold. And right now, up to October 2024, the percentage of market share is about 4.7 for the electric vehicles, while for the hybrid is about 6.5 or 6.7.
So higher.
It's higher. The hybrid is higher. So total is about 11%. and the ICE is still 88%. And one of the ICE which is contributing a lot is the LCGC, low cost green car.
I see. Okay, so the outlook is pretty good for next year for EV.
We
so
expect
far?
yes, but it's going to be hand in hand or similar like the ICE and the other one.
Okay, all right. Bapak Kukuh Kumara, Executive of Association of Indonesian Automotive Manufacturers. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
being here on Economic Outlook. We'll see you again next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.